Fix up that chest hair. AKAPAD, Fantastic Four, 292, AF, She-Hulk. She-Hulk fights to save AF. Why would she do such a thing? Alright, thanks for joining me. Peter A. DeLuca here, aka The Eclectic One, aka The Pop Culture Pope, aka the World Sketchbook Champion, Spicy Taco Roast Beef Sandwich Creator of UZI SUZI Trial by Fire. I'm with you. Let's go on the cosmic journey. Let's get into this book. We have to get into it. She-Hulk fights to save Adolf Hitler. I'm not even sure if I can say the guy's name on the YouTube algorithm robot thing. That's I don't know if I'm gonna get blocked or demonetized. I'm not even monetized. What am I even worried about? All right, AKAPADers, cheers. Why are we looking at Jason Voorhees? Because one thing to understand, this is one of the great gotcha comics of all time. I've been researching, we're going to get back into this. This is also an upcoming video, but I've been kind of digging around, like trying to find She-Hulk like crevices within the Marvel 616 original universe. Been reading Thor 410, and like I might do something on this. This is almost more of a commentary on how comics like should be done. We're also working on UZI SUZI issue 2. This is page 9 right here. This is my mini comic, and I relatively, you can get this. This is on Etsy. This is it's available through Instagram. Going to do on my website akapad.com. We're going to do way more of a sales structure when it comes to issue 2. So if you ordered issue 1, I was going to mail out previews of issue 2 just as like a courtesy with that. That's coming. But yeah, we make comics here, everyone. We make comics. We talk about comics. And what do we have here? We have this is ridiculous. This is like YouTube. This is YouTube clickbait here, right? She-Hulk fights to save Adolf Hitler by the great John Byrne. Fantastic Four 292. What exactly are we doing with this comic? So the reason why I introed with that Jason Voorhees book, that Satan 6 first appearance of Jason Voorhees, is because this is also a fantastic gotcha comic. Let's proceed and I'll explain. Now we open up. Okay, so I make this argument a lot. I make this observation a lot. Comics exist between the covers. They exist between the front cover and the back cover. And that is your story. And if you need more than that, you're not doing your job. You're doing a poor job. Because look, this costs 75 cents. Comic books are supposed to be disposable entertainment. Because they are disposable, there's a freedom within that. And you should take advantage of it. And that is exactly what this issue does. Sanely presents John Byrne, writer, penciler. Al Gordon, who does an amazing job inking, by the way. I'll point some of that out as well. We also have some photographic zip tones throughout this. Some background help. But what I'm getting at is the man who dreamed the world. We are just jumping in the middle of an adventure. Now, the Invisible Woman has created, this is cool. She created like a spaceship or like a vessel that's powered by the Human Torch. And these are things that they've been experimenting with. And they reference it throughout like the first 2 pages. And then we immediately get into a flashback of a previous issue. This guy right here, this African-American man, is the key to this entire story. But we get a nice flashback. We get callbacks. Fantastic Four 279. Keep in mind, we're at 292. This is a part, when people talk about the importance of continuity and the fun of when you see like an asterisk that's a callback to a previous issue, that's the absolute fun and joy of reading comics. But yeah, so relatively, they're racing across the ocean, and we cut to Nick Fury in Adolf Hitler's palace, and he's like, oh, they've done some upgrades since the last time I was here. Let's not forget Nick Fury, Howling Commandos. He spent his entire early career fighting Nazis and Adolf Hitler. But relative, like, boom, he finds them within a couple seconds. Why does he find them within a couple panels? Because We're on page 6. We have a story to tell. We got to keep this moving. So here's some of the inking already that I was commenting on. The shoulder here, the way it breaks up, it goes thick to thin. The cross hatching, a lot of the cross hatching for the fabric is just there, and it's fine, like right here along the bicep. So what happens too is like the John Burns' style lent itself so well to crow quill tip cross hatching. If you guys need to know what a crow quill is, it's right here. And with the newsprint printing and the coloring process, it muddies it and it adds a additional texture. And that's why it does pay to go through some of the originals versus reproductions. So the Fantastic Four, with some of their awesome Invisible Woman gear that she makes up along the way, they arrive to a photostat zipatone background here. And, you know, we have our African Americans. So we're teasing that. But look at some of the cross-hatching. The cross-hatching here is as good as Terry Alston on the X-Men. But they break into Hitler's palace, and they're already kind of debating on, like, what they should be doing. Like, they're going to erase history. They just went on an adventure where they learned the lessons of erasing history, and they know the rules. But as soon as they break into the palace, what do they fight? A giant German robot or mech giant German robot, and we get some of that awesome inking right here. See, like the value. So a lot of times with inking, people forget that inking is creating values, and the values around here are just absolutely perfect. This is perfectly illustrated. The proportions are awesome, but She-Hulk just pops upside down. You know, hello sailor. Like, you know, She-Hulk always popping the jokes, but then we jump into my absolute favorite sequence in this entire book. They are torturing Nick Fury hard. We're on page 15. We only got a couple pages left. We got like roughly 7 pages left to wrap the story up. And I am completely in on this. When you read this for the first time, you are in on this because you're almost like, what is happening? Like, they have to get out of this. They can't recreate history. How do they get out of this and reset everything by page 22? Invisible Woman saves the day. Some good banter between Nick Fury and Invisible Woman. We have Adolf here, and what maybe the best illustrated Adolf Hitler. We get some of that sweet cross-hatching here. Look, thick to thin within the deltoid, and it crosses with a similar thick to thin. It's really nice. It gets off well. Okay, so Invisible Woman explains the rules of you cannot kill Adolf Hitler. This is going to change too much. We've been through this. We're the Fantastic Four. And Nick Fury, you know this stuff too, because you're a part of the Marvel 616. And Nick Fury's like, you know what? You are correct. But then he spins around and boom, wonderful color panel here, all red. Look, no blood, no violence, no nothing, but we know what happened. And then boom, we cut into this, a SHIELD facility. Nick Fury wakes up. He doesn't know what's happening. Invisible Woman wakes up. She doesn't know what's happening. And here we go. We're late in this issue. We're late in the story, but we're going to waste an entire page, page 19, on recapping why Invisible Woman thought Reed Richards was dead. She believed he was dead, and he explains how he escaped. At the end of the issue, how his cells in space were able to expand, and he actually created like an orb like of himself that also was tracked in issue 290. So SHIELD was tracking this, and they hint it in 290. They reference it here, and then here we go. We get the explanation. So long story short, the explanation is that this guy from a previous issue of Fantastic Four, also on the cover of She-Hulk, he was dreaming, and the Fantastic Four were caught in almost like a pulse of his dream, and his psychic power and his mutant mind was so powerful that he sucked them in. And it took all of this work. It took a SHIELD facility back here to get them out of this dream that they believed. So they were actually conscious within the dream, but they were also reacting to what the guy was dreaming. And it's such a mirror. It's so Fantastic Four. It's such a Marvel comic, and we're reset. Look, the team's back together. The adventure continues, and nothing major happens. And this is the idea of what is a good comic. This is a good comic. We have a one and done adventure within a larger, like, continuity, larger tapestry, cover to cover. We wrap it up. It's fantastic, people. People, we're growing. The AKAPAD army is growing. I hope you like that review analysis perspective. Don't forget, John Byrne is the greatest comic book writer, artist guy, comic book guy in the history of the medium. So we love our John Byrne. But subscribe, support, show his channel to your cat. We're a cat-friendly channel. We are cat-friendly here at AKAPAD. This is Dallas. Let's get into it, people. Help me out. Leave a comment. I got a bag of burritos to eat.
Dun, 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 dun. Na, 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 na.